Fire noise!
What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode 102 of the STS Guys.
103.
When it's 103.
103.
103. I forgot.
Jeremy missed that midweek audio only drop.
Yeah, those audio only ones are fucking us up.
Yeah, that screws up my order. Okay, episode 103 of the
you would have been right had we not dropped an episode randomly in between.
You know, at times, let me restart and try again.
Okay.
What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode 103 of the STS Guys. I am Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
Hey guys, it's Nate.
And I'm Scott.
And we are the STS Guys, a weekly podcast where we sit around, shoot the shit, and talk about anything geeky, nerdy, and cool. What is going on this week, guys?
It's been a week.
It's been a week.
It has been a week.
It has been a week.
But it's kind of been less than a week because we dropped an audio-only episode on Wednesday, I believe.
We did. We had a very special episode that dropped. Thank you to Larry for getting that edited very quickly and getting posted up. So,
please tell me more.
Yeah. So I got the honor to speak with one Felicia Day about her season 2 of her podcast Voyage to the Stars.
Ooh.
And her upcoming book called Embrace Your Weird. It's like a self-help book that she had written, and it's kind of like an interactive like self-help workbook. So we got a chance to speak to her about her upcoming projects, and as Ed puts it here, the queen of the nerds. So that it was a really cool opportunity to be able to speak with everybody about, or to speak with her about all the stuff that she's doing, and to kind of be able to get in touch with somebody that's that huge in the nerd community.
No, yeah. That's pretty impressive. Like I said, I honestly haven't gotten a chance to listen to the episode yet, so I'm actually probably going to be doing that tomorrow. But like I said, it's I'm excited that you guys got the opportunity to talk to the one and the only Felicia Day. Super iconic, like I said, in the nerd world.
Yeah, talk about star power, man. That is really cool. I enjoyed the interview. Scott, you did a really great job, asking her some good questions about her book, about the podcast that she's on. Anybody in the chat, if you have not listened to that episode, you should go check it out. It's a really cool interview. It's probably one of our biggest interviews yet, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. No, and I do recommend to go check out the Voyage to the Stars that she does. It's she's just one of the actors. It's a bunch of people doing kind of like a improv new age radio serial. So it's not like people like talking like us. Like it's a story that they're telling. Like they have a plot and kind of a ongoing theme throughout the show, but it's a story.
Yeah, but it's still improv.
Yeah, but it's still improv. What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
Just a random reaper. Yeah, it's just like
it sounded like you were talking to yourself. Like
story. It was Scott talking to himself.
But I don't know where that came from. That was quite interesting.
Ghost
did it. But no, it was really, really cool to go over it. And I do recommend to listen to it. It's pretty fun. You got some interesting stories that they tell, and it's like a very inept version of Star Trek that's all done via improv. So do go check it out. I'm through the first season, going into that second season, and I can't recommend it enough. It's something very different. So do check it out.
And I read the first 65 pages of Embrace Your Weird, which will be available everywhere next week. It was really good. Like Scott said, it's kind of like a self-help it's different. It's not the normal kind of book I would read. But it's this interactive self-help book that's supposed to help you be more creative, and like, who doesn't want to be more creative? So it actually like it's got exercises and stuff in it. It's got blank pages where you're supposed to draw pictures or write down words based on her prompts. But it's a really funny book. So if you like Felicia Day, or if you're want to be more creative, like if it's podcast or drawing or whatever, if you're just tired of sitting on your phone and being on Twitter all day or something, and you want something more rewarding, give her book a try. It's a lot of fun, and hopefully you'll get something out of it and go make something cool.
Hey, Larry, would you say this is a get up on this?
Absolutely. If we were doing get up on this episode, that would have been one of my 3 things.
Oh, well, we might have one of those coming up soon. I think we had talked about wanting to do that again, so we'll have to save that.
This at least qualifies as a pretty awesome "It's Been a Week" for Scott. Being able to do that Felicia Day interview. Scott, I commend you for not really sounding nervous. I would have been super nervous.
I was shitting. Dude, to be honest, I was shitting bricks. So.
Yeah, you sounded good. I think we sounded more nervous during the Grace Rolick interview, but you nailed the Felicia Day one last week.
Yeah, the Grace one was our first real oh shit, we're actually having to call a celebrity and interview him. So we had that practice. So this one was I was definitely nervous, but I think it was more of a
you're a pro now,
experience. I've got experience.
Yeah.
And
no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. And the fact that she had 2 big projects coming up that I'm familiar with. I was like, all right, I know the things that we're going to be talking about here. So that was pretty cool.
Yep, very cool.
That was very awesome. Well, and honestly, Scott, Nate, and Larry, so you were talking about, I said, we should have another get up on this episode. I think the pre kind of conversation we had regarding what this episode is about is almost kind of like a get up on this.
It kind of is. I'm going to call this a "What are the STS guys watching?" episode,
or up to, really, because it's watching and other things.
Yeah. No. What have we been doing since
I do have
last week?
I do have it. It's been a week story though, real quick.
Nice. I have one too. So go ahead, Jeremy.
All right. So I was in California for work last week, and so there's this Thursday night. I said it was my kind of my last kind of night before I said I ended up coming home. So I ended up kind of going out with some work friends, and so we went to Redwood City. And inside Redwood City, so we were trying to find something to eat, find a little bar to hang out in. This, that, or there, it's normal stuff. So we end up having a couple drinks at this place called Nighthawk, and we
Nighthawk,
yeah, it's like the router. It was kind of weird. I even made a comment like the router. And so we end up going across the street having some pizza, and then I said, what better way to wrap up the night? I said, I'm with some of my Irish coworkers. Let's have some cigars, as we wrap up the night. Like when you have those movies where you go into the kind of the seedy place where all of a sudden you see some old Russian gangsters playing poker in the middle of a lounge. Yeah, this was that place. So
I might get shot today.
Exactly. So we walk into this place. And so we were looking at the cigars, and there's all these older gentlemen literally just playing poker, smoking cigars, and they have a big hookah in the middle, and so they're doing hookah as well, right in the middle of this poker table, right? So we walk in thinking it's just a normal lounge. They turn and I'll look at us and just stare at us for a good minute, and so I'm just okay, this is kind of weird. So we go in, we get our cigars, and then hey, we're not going to sit in here to smoke these cigars. We're going to go out. We're going to go out to the patio. So go to the lady, end up checking out. But these guys ended up literally staring at us the entire night. It was these weird Russian mobster looking guys. So I almost got my ass kicked by a whole bunch of Russians.
Some Russian gangsters.
Wow. Are you sure they wanted to kick your ass, or
were they in
staring at you?
I don't know.
Yes.
So Denny McGuire is picturing KGB from Round. Great movie reference, Denny. Great movie reference. Yeah. So these guys were like John Malkovich from from Rounders.
Nice.
Nice.
That's an interesting. It's been a week, and you were on. You were kind of like in a different spot, almost getting your ass kicked. I'm glad that you came back in one piece, though.
I did, like I said, and I actually think my my Irish counterparts. So shout out to my Irish coworkers.
Nice.
Well, I have a it's been a week story. So if you guys remember a couple episodes back, I think it was episode 99. We had our friend Josh, who is Prime to the First on Instagram. He makes the custom 1/12 scale arcade cabinets. He makes a lot of really cool ones, a lot of classics, Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom, TMNT. Anyways, I've had one of his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinets for a while, and he a while ago showed me a picture of a new one that he was making, and it's of the Turtles in Time. And I like freaked out when he sent me this picture. I was like, no way, dude, I have to get that to add to my mini arcade collection. And being the nice guy that he is, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna send it to you for having me on the podcast and for supporting my page. So it came in the mail, and I got my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time arcade cabinet, 1/12 scale. It's really freaking cool, actually. It came out great. Thanks again, Josh. I really appreciate it. You made it a really good week. That's for sure.
That's sweet looking.
Yeah, that is super cool. We got to get the as he was talking when he was on the show about the idea of mounting like an LED up in there for you, so it actually backlights.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna have to do that for that one, because that's that way when you in your shots, it looks like those that thing is backlit, and you get that little screen hue coming out. I think it'll add a lot to the shots.
I definitely want to do that because, like you said, it can come out like right here and sort of light up this area. It would be awesome. But yeah, this thing looks great. Really well made. You guys got to check them out. Prime to the First on Instagram. I'll put it in the comments because I can't talk. But yeah, go check them out.
And check out episode 99 to learn all about how he makes those awesome arcade cabinets. Yeah. If you haven't listened to it already.
Super cool. Like, I'll say hobby, but I know it's kind of more than that for him. But like, to be able to build like those little custom like mini props is like super, super cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any kind of artistic talent like that. And to be able to see how he can he cuts this thing out of balsa wood, he sands it down. He has to form these pieces together. He puts the stickers on. I mean, he does a lot of work, and it really looks nice. So
yeah,
I appreciate the craftsmanship.
He's way more talented than I am.
Yeah,
much more than it. I'd say more than all of us combined. We all, yeah,
true.
It's probably true. So
that's awesome, dude. I'm glad you got that. It's really cool. Can't wait to see you use it. I saw you posted this earlier today. I think it's pretty rad.
Yeah, I can't wait to take some new photos. Yeah. I'm trying to think of ones where I can use both and trying to make like an arcade.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool. Thanks, Josh. Larry, do you have It's Been a Week story?
I do not. No.
No? Okay.
No. Larry was, like I said, helping me out with, I sent him a bunch of audio files, and Larry and I quickly put together that audio only podcast. So I think that was kind of what we spent most of our week on.
That was the most exciting thing I did this week, besides impromptu car repair, because that's always fun.
Oh, fun.
You have to love when your car breaks.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, it was okay.
Cool. Well, yeah, like we said earlier, this episode's sort of like a get up on this, but not officially. We're just kind of talking about what's going on with fall TV. We're getting close to, the end of the year here. So, what new shows are out there? What are we into? What games are we playing right now? And then, what are we excited for that's coming out soon? So we're going to go around and kind of talk about what we're watching. And, if you guys have seen any of this stuff, feel free to comment. Tell us what you like. We can talk about it on the podcast too.
Well, this is that weird time of year too. Like, all the summer blockbusters are done, right? Like, we're not getting any more big blockbuster movies coming out, and it's not until like the wintertime when the next big group of movies is going to really show. So this is where the TV really shines. So I think that was the kind of the thought here is like, we got tons of new or like new seasons of shows, so might as well go over like what stuff are we happy about, right? Like what are we looking forward to, and what did we watch, and what have we actually skipped so far?
Definitely.
Cool.
That sounds amazing.
What have you been watching, Scott?
Ooh, lots of different things. I did check out Disenchantment season 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we talked about the season 1 last year with Matt Groening's kind of post Futurama, I guess, kind of take on things. It's basically just like the first season. Like they have a decent like overarching story, but little like mini kind of stories in between that all kind of spoof on something. They have quite a bit of Futurama posts. At one point, the guy voiced by the same guy who does Bender at some point says "bite my shiny metal ass" because he's wearing armor. Yeah, like they throw in a bunch of Simpsons and Futurama references, which I thought was quite good.
It's clever.
Yeah.
Did it get better than the first season? The first season to me was like, eh.
Yeah.
Okay, so to be fair, it's a little bit better than the first season because with the kind of the story moving forward, like there's a little bit more like intrigue to it. You find out a lot more because they left it on a big huge cliffhanger. So this resolves a good portion of that. And it's good, but it's not super great. But I do recommend it if you like Futurama or you're a Simpsons fan. Like, it's watchable. Yeah, like
if you're into mediocre shows. This is my
yeah, right?
Disenchantment season 2.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like we have to talk about it because we talked season 1, we all were like, it was like riding that train, and then we're like, okay, this is not that great.
I think I made it. I don't even think I made it past episode 2 when we all said we were going to watch that, because it was one of those shows where I'm like, I can either keep watching this because I feel like I have to, or I can just move on with my life. I chose to move on with my life.
Yeah. So I sat down. I was cleaning the house and just had it on, like in the background.
It's a great just have on show.
Yeah, like I wouldn't recommend like sitting down like spending a day to like binge it, but if you need something to watch and like that style of humor is your thing, do check it out. Like it's
it's watchable.
It's watchable. You can put it on and you will chuckle occasionally.
I like
how a great review, Scott.
Didn't shit on a show, but technically shit on a show.
Yeah, like because I don't want to like it's like not bad enough for me to want to shit on it, but I can't like force myself to lie and say it's good.
It sounds kind of like a 3-ish score maybe.
Yeah, it's like a good like middle of the road. Like it is a 2.5, right? Like it's not like this is utter garbage. But again, I wasn't like I gotta wait for fucking season 3 to come out. Like if season 3 shows, I'll be like, all right, I guess I'll watch it. Like.
Well, Scott, we appreciate you wasting your time watching it so that we can decide
you don't have to.
Maybe not to watch it because it's watchable.
Yeah.
Unless I'm super bored and I need something to watch.
Exactly. Yeah. Like that was kind of my I was like, I need something to put on while I clean the house. That'll do.
Yeah. See though, Larry, I said, I know you're exactly like I am. I'm like, if you're super bored, you're not picking out new shows to watch. You're going back to your old classics.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec and shows like that. Like I said, you're not going in like, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna give Disenchantment a try. Like if you need something to watch, something in the background, you're going back to the things that haven't let you down in the past.
Yeah, and without listening to our Disenchantment episode, I feel like that's exactly what I did. As I was rewatching Parks and Rec, and I'm like, I'd rather just be watching old Parks and Rec's episodes, and that's what I'm doing right now too. Is like I'm not watching anything new necessarily. I'm rewatching Scrubs. I'm on like season 3, maybe like halfway through season 3. I think this is the first time I've ever sat down and watched like the entire thing in order. So it's fun.
Got to go. Just leave out that last season.
I love the last season.
I know you do, but you got it. No,
amazing. I should just stop right now and go watch season 9.
Well, at least you have something to watch, Larry.
Yeah.
some of the
Well, that
entertainment.
and Goldberg's and Schooled came back this week, so
Oh, nice.
I did watch the new episode of Goldberg's. It was really good. They did like their parody of National Lampoon's Vacation. So, right, the Goldberg family took a road trip to California in their station wagon, and they went to Disneyland. So it was a really good episode. If you're not watching the Goldbergs, you are missing out. It is not middle of the road. It is 5 out of 5. Don't miss it. It's a great show.
I really need to start it.
I take credit for that one for Larry. Like,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, for like multiple, like it's on like season 7 or something for like 5.5 seasons. I'm like, no, I have no interest in this show. It's weird. And then Jeremy's like, dude, you should watch this. I'm like, okay. And it's one of my like top 5 favorite shows of all
So
time.
Is it on Netflix or where's that?
Hulu.
Hulu,
You can watch
yeah.
it on Hulu. Yeah. So I have to give Larry the credit for pushing me into watching it because he would always talk about it at work. And I was eventually like, fine, I'll give this goddamn show a chance. And it is definitely one of my favorites. I did watch the return episode. And it is good. I think they're starting off right.
Yeah, it's a little funny because like the guy who plays Adam's got like a 5 o'clock shadow now and stuff, and he's supposed to be like a senior in high school, or junior. But yeah, he's clearly an old man.
now. He's top of his class. He gets to look down on all of his other classmates.
Yeah.
No, I do like how I said in some of these throwback episodes they actually go like and bring certain elements of the kind of the parodies that they're doing. So like in this one, how they actually brought back Christina Brinkley.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
driving the Ferrari,
and then her picking up Pops and then driving off.
Michael Anthony Hall, who played Rusty, is the security guard when they get to Disneyland.
Yeah, right.
It was pretty good.
Nice.
Well, and I love the throwback of like, oh, sorry, park's closed, and then the mom like freaks out and he's like, for 15 minutes, like it opens in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I just wish they would have spent more time at Disneyland, but that's okay.
You guys are gonna make me want to watch it now.
It's a good show. You would
do
like
it, Nate. Do it. Bend the peer pressure.
All right, watching the Goldbergs. It's gonna happen.
And then after the Goldbergs, we watched Schooled, which is on season 2. It's not as good as the Goldbergs, but you may remember from our San Diego Comic-Con recap episode, Jeremy and I ran into Brett Dyer, who plays one of the teachers on Schooled in the lobby of our hotel at Comic-Con. So it was really cool to see that guy on TV after we had met him and took pictures with him and stuff. And he was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I am a Schooled fan as well. Probably took it up a notch after the summer. I will continue to watch that show. Like I said, it's kind of the same premise as the Goldbergs, just set in the 90s rather than the 80s. And it's not quite as good, but it's kind of disenchantment level. If you want to watch something on TV, it's there.
Yeah. If you need something new, it's available. You won't like hate it, but you probably won't be like, this is the best show ever.
Yeah. It's there. It's a show.
It is television.
Nate, I think
the leaves instead of the pine cone.
Yeah.
What?
What was that?
I don't know. Jeremy's talking about pine cones.
Sam, would you rather wipe with some leaves or a pine cone?
Those both sound uncomfortable.
Well, that's
They're going to get the job done.
Yeah, that's why you're grabbing the leaves instead of the pine cone. So it's not horrible, but at least you're getting something.
It's something.
Yeah,
It's something.
You're getting a little bit out of it at least.
Exactly.
It's a good analogy, Jeremy.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was very fitting.
I was trying to move on.
No, we're gonna have an entire conversation now about wiping.
Pine cones or leaves, Larry?
I'm a pine cone man. I'm a pine cone man myself.
Is there any other options?
Dirt.
None of the above.
Yeah, dirt.
Dirt.
Well, moving
speaking
on,
of dirt,
I do have a show that I'm watching, and it's pretty new. American Horror Story 1984. So that is season 9 of American Horror Story. If you guys have watched any of the previous seasons, they don't really intertwine. It's always a different idea every season, and then it kind of follows that idea throughout the story. So this time, it's kind of going back in time. It's like a throwback to all of our favorite classic horror movies from the 1980s. Really heavy influence on Friday the 13th because they are at a place, they're at a camp. I forget the name of the camp, but it's basically like Camp Crystal Lake. It's the same
Camp Court Glassware.
Camp Redwood is what it's called. So it's basically the same concept as Friday the 13th, but the guy that's killing them isn't Jason. It's a guy that has broken out of a psychiatric hospital, kind of like Halloween. So it's like a mesh of those two movies.
And his name is Steven.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what his name is. Thanks, Scott.
Spoiler.
Yeah, so anyways, the show starts with all these kids going to a camp, which you can tell is spelling bad news. Don't go to the camp, kids. That's where people die.
I just really think that this is really reinforcing the whole, like, don't go to summer camps. Like,
yeah, it makes me not want to ever go to one.
No, don't say that. Like I said, I was reading an article the other day, and I said this sidebar conversation.
We're good at those.
It has to do with this very situation. Like I said, I got so pissed that I didn't live in Arizona anymore just because I was reading this article. Did you know, like I said, right outside of Prescott, there's a camp that you can stay at where Jason chases you at night?
Oh God.
Oh shit.
No.
Yeah, so you can actually stay, and basically you have to basically outrun Jason. So you basically stay with a group of people, and it's a game, and then you basically try to outlive Jason throughout the night.
Why would you want to pay for that?
That's
I would
amazing.
love to do that. Like fuck you, Nate. Like, I want to do that.
You're just gonna be terrified all night long. Somebody's gonna be chasing you, wanting to kill you.
But how awesome is that? You have to work together to basically try to escape the camp before Jason comes and kills you.
Yeah, okay, that's actually.
I mean, he's not really going to kill you, right?
No.
It's like fate kill you.
But how awesome is that? Like, I'm like, come on.
Yeah, like that takes like the escape room to like a whole nother level.
Exactly.
That's what it is, yeah.
That's
Those
cool.
escape rooms are lame.
Yeah.
No. Next Halloween. I said if they do it again, I'm like, I'll fly back. I think the STS
We're in.
guys should totally basically try to outlive Jason.
God.
Yes, I'm down for that.
Yeah, Larry. No, there's no. It's 3 against 1 at this point. You're going,
Larry, you're doing it.
But I've never seen a Jason movie besides Jason X.
Oh, you saw the worst one.
All right. Well, now we know what's getting added to the totally
Oh,
rad queue
For Halloween,
uh,
baby.
for
There you go.
Halloween.
That's a great idea. So yeah, anyways, if you guys like 1980s horror slasher films, you're probably going to like American Horror Story. It's actually really well done. It's pretty violent. I'm surprised because it's on FX, so it is pretty violent for being on, TV. But they do a good job. I've always liked American Horror Story shows. They always take, they kind of surprise you. They do crazy twists and turns. So this one's starting out like a Friday the 13th, but I'm sure it's going to change up as it goes. And the main killer's name is Mr. Jingles. So you got to watch it because of that.
Mr. Jingles, like the mouse from Green Mile.
Yeah, Mr. Jingles. Yeah.
Give it to me, boss. All right, so I guess it's my turn, right?
Yeah,
It
what do
is.
you got?
All right, for TV shows, for active TV shows that I'm watching now, I said I will go the FXX route as well. That Nate went down, but not with American Horror Story. I'm actually watching Mayans MC.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, new season came out, right?
New season came out, and so for me, like I said, I almost didn't finish the first season, just because I said I left on basically because for those of you who don't know, Mayans MC is basically a spin-off show from Sons of Anarchy. Takes place in the same universe as Sons of Anarchy. Takes place post death of Jax Teller. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched Sons of Anarchy, but it's been a few years. Who cares?
Yeah, we're well beyond the spoiler tag needed for that one.
Absolutely, but it's one of those shows where I'm like, okay, it was super kind of weird spinoff because they tried to basically tie it back and spin it off like too much. But then it got good towards the last couple episodes of the first season. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give the show a chance. Second season kicked off with a bang, and it's one of those shows to where I actually don't watch it when I don't DVR it. I actually end up buying the seasons on Prime, just because they up the violence and they up they don't edit them at all on when they release them on Prime. So I think in one episode I counted like they like dropped the F-bomb like 27 times, like in one of the episodes. It was like something ridiculous, but like I said, it just ups the kind of the grit of the TV show when they're unedited like that. But so far this season, I said it's been pretty cool in regards to trying to get the Galindo cartel basically with the Department of Justice kind of breathing down their necks. So and the Mayans are kind of mixed in there as well. So but let's say when we watch the show on regular, they don't censor the F-bomb either. Okay, so I must have not watched like regular TV in a while then, because I remember, like I said, on I remember like a long time ago they used to. So
yeah, so if you watch it certain times,
okay,
they still have it okay where they can drop the F-bombs. I can't remember what the exact rules are, but like South Park still does it, and like yeah, FXX shows can still run them unedited at
like after 8 p.m.
Like yeah, like after 8 p.m. they'll drop them and like unedited. Then they just have to show like the whole like, you know, like beware, this is like a
yeah
like
show.
TVMA, and then it gives you all these disclaimers.
Okay, well, yeah, that's so weird then. Yeah, because I remember the first time I ever experienced that, like so when I was watching TV, is when I was rewatching Breaking Bad when I was streaming. Like I said, that first season, I said when Walter White's dropping all those F-bombs, I'm like, I don't remember this in the show at all.
Like, wait, when did this happen?
I'm like, when did he tell the guy at the car wash to fuck off? I'm like, but apparently he did.
I don't remember that either. But it's been a long time.
Yeah, that's one of those ones with El Camino coming. I'm gonna have to go back and revisit some of those seasons to rewatch and get ready for El Camino, because like I remember most of it at this point, but I really haven't watched it since it was done. Like
I don't either. I know Ed and Jessica are watching it or rewatching it. Like I feel like they didn't give us enough time. I mean, I guess if I would have sat down, there's like a lot of episodes, like I forget how many, but there's a lot because I wanted to rewatch it one other time too, and I'm just like, this is too much of a task, man. Like I can't do it. And now, like, the movie comes out in just a couple weeks. It's even more pressure. It's just not for me. I hope I'm not out of the loop.
I'm super excited for El Camino. Like, luckily, like I said, I don't have to, like I said, go back and rewatch it. I just actually spent the time rewatching the season, probably maybe like I said, a few months ago. Like so when there was kind of a dry run on TV. So like I said, I'm nice and caught up. I said I rewatched seasons 1 through 5 maybe like 3 months ago. But like I said, I'm super excited for this spin-off movie because like I said it seems from the trailer itself, it seems to pick up literally exactly where like I said season 5 leaves you off with basically Jesse driving off in the distance and then it picks up directly from there.
Yeah, maybe there's a time jump after that or something, but at least it looks like it's right after, and that trailer looks so good.
Yeah, I'm so excited for it. That was going to be one of the things that I talked about. Is like fall things I'm looking forward to. El Camino is like right at the top of the list. I cannot wait to see because everybody wants to know like what happened with Jesse. It's
like the one guy
question,
the one main character to basically really escape at the end.
We got really like no closure other than the fact that he was able to get away. But I wonder if they're going to tie in more characters or are they going to show us like more storylines and how they wrapped up.
Yeah, I think this is a good way to really add that closure, right? Like, the only person that we really know what they're doing right now is Saul, right? Like, and you only find that out from that first season of Better Call Saul.
Yeah, where he's look aheads.
Yeah, where he's being the
joke that he makes at the end of the fifth season. He's like, the best I'm gonna do is being a manager of a Cinnabon in Omaha.
Yeah, and he is the manager of a Cinnabon in Omaha. Yeah,
and he's the manager in Omaha.
Yeah.
So like that brings up a good point though. Like I said, do you think this movie will generate either more spinoffs or more or additional movies in this Breaking Bad universe? Because here's the thing, I think that it will, just for the fact of I think this is something that people have wanted. And then like I said, just look at the resurgence in interest of Breaking Bad and just due to this movie.
Yeah.
And I think basically I think other people have different stories to tell, and in kind of in that regard as well. Like I think there's so many different avenues that you can kind of go down since they're bringing back so many characters from the Breaking Bad universe. There's so many split off stories that you can actually go and tell from this, and it kind of reminds me of like the split off stories from like other shows and other movies and things like that.
Well, you just named one, like Mayans.
Yeah,
where it's kind of that same universe, but it's not really the same. No. They could do something like that.
I got shocked about one today that I had no idea was coming out at all until I saw a leaked Italian trailer for this movie. Did you know? Did you know there's a sequel to The Big Lebowski coming out?
What?
No,
really?
I did not.
It's called Jesus Rolls. It's John Turturro.
Oh yeah,
Jesus. And yeah, there's a Big Lebowski sequel coming out.
Yeah, well, it's not even like you said. It is definitely a spinoff with the you don't fuck with the Jesus. Like,
is Lebowski to be in it at all? Do you think?
It's gonna have
gotta be.
It's gonna have Bridges, and you're gonna have somebody playing the kid, right? Because it ends with him getting that girl pregnant. So he's gonna have his kid. So there's gonna be a young Lebowski in there as well.
Yeah,
I got really excited just now.
No,
I did not know that was coming.
I had no idea it was coming out, but like I said,
so going back to the Breaking Bad thing, like who would you want to like follow though? Like Skyler or like a thing with like Beaver and Skinny Pete? Like who? Like Badger and Skinny Pete? Like who would you follow?
Badger was
like everyone else. Everyone that's interesting is dead. Like,
I think Jerry brings up a good point. Like, this could be a way for Netflix to kind of start their own show, and maybe El Camino is a setup for Jesse Pinkman's new show. Like maybe he's going to start making, the meth again, or maybe he makes his own version of meth. I can see this projecting it into something else. I could definitely see that.
No, I say so. And then maybe not even making meth again. Like I said, I honestly think Jesse might be done with making the meth. I honestly think this will basically be it's almost like a TV show version of almost like Catch Me If You Can. Like I said, just because I think the cops, because just from the little bits from the trailers, they're searching for basically this person of interest, and so I literally think it'll basically be a show of basically Jesse trying to survive on the run,
like the fugitive.
Yeah, exactly. Like the
Harrison Ford's running from Tommy Lee the whole time. You just can't catch him.
Exactly.
But it does get that thing. Like you hear the Walter White voice where he says, like, "Are you ready?" Like, so I wonder if there is going to be a thing of him, like, at some point trying to start back up.
Yeah. Like
my thought is, what if he ends up going to school to get his degree so he can become a teacher and start teaching chemistry? And basically he becomes Walter White and he gets his own little Jesse protege.
And then he takes Walter's identity.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He could be Walt Jr.
There already is a Walter Jr.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He could just take over for Walt Jr. That kid's good and eat some breakfast. Actually, I would like to see Walt Jr. getting some revenge on Jesse. Like him showing up.
This is Breaking Bad. It usually doesn't have happy endings for anybody. Like
that's why I don't think it's gonna.
Yeah, he's not gonna ride off into the sunset. He's probably gonna die.
Yeah, I think he's going to get caught, or he's going to get caught by the feds at the end of it, and they're going to bust his ass.
What if it turns into basically they catch him at the end, but then the spin-off show is like Prison Break, but involving.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I think I just got Larry interested.
No. I mean, he shows up, and then like Wentworth Miller's there.
Exactly.
Done. Done.
That guy's not doing anything. Like you could probably get him on TV pretty easily.
He does the one episode of like the Flash Arrow for the crossover when he's playing Captain Cold. But besides that, like I'm sure he's down for a Prison Break, Breaking Bad crossover universe thing. I like it.
That would be pretty epic.
Or what if this is the lead into The Walking Dead and it shows how Jesse creates the zombies?
That would be amazing too.
That would be nuts.
That would get me to watch Walking Dead again, probably.
That'd be really cool.
But you know what? The Walking Dead people aren't that smart or cool anymore, so there's no way that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Walking Dead should have ended so long ago. It killed itself.
It really did. It jumped the shark, or jumped the zombie shark at this point. Like,
enough is enough.
When they had the opportunity to kill Rick on the bridge and they didn't, and they're like, we're gonna make a Rick movie where he's working with the CIA, whoever's left, like, yeah, well, it's done. Like, I have no interest in going back to watch that show ever again.
So with El Camino coming out, like I said, I honestly think that's going to be probably Netflix's biggest thing in the month of October, right?
Oh yeah,
there's nothing else going on with in terms of Netflix, because like I said, Netflix has to do something, and I think this movie coming out during this specific time is interesting, just because I said you would think that basically they would launch a whole slew of new shows, like popular new shows, just to kind of basically compete with Disney Plus. I think they already know they're going to lose customers to Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, you're losing. Well, the head-to-head battle for November, you've already lost that. So that's why the October timing makes sense, right? Yeah. Because they want to hold you for October. They know they're going to lose some people for November, but then they're probably coming roaring back in December or January.
No, exactly. No, I honestly think basically from this Breaking Bad trailer, because like I said, they actually made an effort to go back in and edit the last episode of Breaking Bad, basically include this trailer at the end of the very last episode, where as soon as you see Jesse drive off into the kind of out of the gate, that's when the trailer picks up for El Camino. So they did some creative editing there, so it actually goes right into the trailer. So
that's really that is actually really clever.
So it's super cool, and like I said, I literally think this is going to spin off. I think basically this is what. I think they threw Vince Gilligan. I think that's who the guy who created Breaking Bad. I think threw him a whole bunch of money, saying, "Hey, Kevin Feige is doing this whole thing with Disney Plus and all these shows and stuff like that. We need some shows." And I honestly think we're going to get a show. I'd be surprised if we don't.
But he's kind of left that Breaking Bad thing, and like has stated several times, like, I'm really done. Like, we're telling this story, then I'm done with this universe. I would like to have him go in and maybe not have anything directly related to Breaking Bad, but like, he's obviously a good storyteller. Like, tell me some other stories. Maybe set him in the same universe, but have nothing to do with Breaking Bad.
No, well, like I said, he said he was done with Breaking Bad after this fifth season. He's like, "Hey, I'm not going to come back. I'm not going to do anything. I wanted to end it." Now, then we had a spinoff show. And now we have this movie. Yeah. You dangle a whole bunch of money in front of somebody. You know what? Those feelings about, hey, like, my storytelling is done, those go out the window.
Oh, no, 100%. Like,
really? Here's a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, you dangle money in front of me. There's a lot that I'm going to do, right? Like,
story to tell.
Yeah. I don't have stories, but
let's go.
I will tell a story if you start dangling money.
I mean, I think it has to be a good story too, because I don't think he wants to ruin the legacy. So as long as he has some good ideas, they'll probably he's probably down. But if he has no ideas, then if it is like Netflix is like, we need a new show, how about we do Badger, and there's like no story to tell with Badger because he's lame.
But if you could grow up and be like, hey, I want to grab this other group of people that are doing something different, I would watch it. Just based on
Tyler in the chat brings up a great show idea. Basically a prequel about Gus Fring. So because you know a little bit about from a couple of different flashback episodes, but you don't know basically why he is the way he is and how he went down this path. I think there's some prequels and stuff, things that you can kind of set in this universe. I think there's a lot of different things that you can do to do this. Honestly, hey, Ed, if I could get Skinny Pete the series, I would watch it.
Fucking Skinny Pete the series. Him just knocking over
Skinny Pete
ATMs.
Skinny Pete and Badger, like a buddy series. Yeah.
They could call it Petty Crimes.
You heard it here first. That's a great name for a show. Petty Crimes.
Petty Crimes starring Skinny Pete and Badger.
I don't want to pay this man.
That's not going to get me to keep my Netflix subscription. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No way.
But I am very excited
Larry's
for a show
done.
coming out in early November, though, because we got Disney coming out at the same time. Amazon is stepping up, and they're dropping season 2 of Jack Ryan in November. That's what I'm super excited for. I loved the first season of that show, and I'm so glad that we're getting more John Krasinski, Jack Ryan.
So give us like a quick rundown. He's like a government spy.
Well, Jack Ryan, he's like in the first season, he's just a CIA analyst who fucks up and like antagonizes a terrorist in the first episode, and then basically gets pulled into being a kind of a spy, but he has to basically find this terrorist and stop the plot. And they did a really good job of these inner like side stories that you don't really know how they connect, eventually like winding their way in. I know Jeremy was a big fan of that first season too. So it significantly surprised me when it came out, because the movies were always like, oh, Jack Ryan's this badass, right? Like he's never like a normal human being. In this one, like he loses fights. Like he's a very human version of the character, and it's very well written. So I very much enjoyed that series, and I'm super excited for a second season to come out.
Nice. Yeah, I've been interested to like check it out, and you keep saying such good things. I might have to just watch it now that second season's coming.
Gotta watch the one where the guy goes and gambles all the money he gets from his like one of the characters, and it's like a drone operator that every time he kills somebody, his like co-pilot gives him money, and then he goes and gambles it away and ends up like in like the weirdest situation.
Is that the one where like he ends up like with like the hooker?
No, it's with the guy and the lady,
guy and his wife, and then
the guy and his wife, and the guy watches while he like fucks the lady in the thing, and then the guy just starts kicking his ass.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a great show.
And he tries to pay him after the guy beat the shit out of him. He's like, here, take this money, I guess. You let me fuck your wife.
No, it's a great show.
Yeah.
It's actually a high budget show too. It's actually movie quality, like special effects.
Well,
Yeah,
Amazon's got some money, man.
Yeah, as Jeremy says, it's good special effects, and like it's all very real stuff. Like they're not like off the wall like horror villain plots like some of the movies that you get. It's like I can see what this guy is doing, and like, oh, they're using like Ebola and like all these other facets that you're like, this shit could actually happen, which is even more terrifying.
Yeah. Well, and I think every service is really trying to step up their game. And one thing that really gave me a lot more respect for Prime is The Boys. That was way better than I thought it would be. And, now Jack Ryan sounds like it's really good. And I think, like we talked about earlier, Netflix is getting a little scared because Disney Plus is coming. And there's a show that I'm really excited for on Disney Plus, The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait for this show to drop. From that trailer that I saw, I got way more interested than I was prior. And I'm kind of excited, like, if, from what I've seen from the trailer, if Mandalorian is as good as it looks, what are we going to get for the rest of these Marvel shows that we're really all anticipating? Like, Disney Plus could be like a pretty amazing service if they really invest the finances into it, which is what they have. If it's still at the same level of quality that we've been seeing for their movies, I could see it really going somewhere. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I had no interest in the Mandalorian, surprise, at first, but after seeing the trailer, I was actually super excited for it. Like, I actually want to see a Mandalorian that actually does something.
Yeah, right. At least give us some more background of the character.
Yeah.
Boba Fett fell into that Sarlacc pit like a champ.
Yeah.
Scott's always reminding us, like, everybody loves Boba Fett for like less than 5 minutes worth of footage, and he died.
Yeah, and he dies.
No, honestly, I said screw even the Mandalorian. You know what I'm excited to see about the Mandalorian?
What?
Some IG-88. Come on.
Yeah. So, it's
IG-11.
It's
but
IG-11. Yeah. So it's the whole like.
It's still IG-88.
Well, it's just like the Mandalorian's. Just like the Mandalorian's still Boba Fett.
Yeah, exactly. You can call it a different name, but it's still the same thing.
Yeah. But yes, I'm looking forward to that and the other bounty hunters and the other random stuff that they pull in. And Jon Favreau, because he's amazing.
I mean, if you give the same Iron Man treatment to this, like you could at least get a good start for series and bring out and you know, create like a Star Wars interconnected
like
TV
a TV thing. Like Daredevil on Netflix, right?
Like Sony's doing with with Spider-Man. Oh yeah, coming back to the MCU.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, speaking of Disney.
Yeah, so Jeremy, you said this before the podcast. I have to say it on the air though. We fucking called it.
That one.
I mean, everybody called it, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to let them stay gone for long. It's Disney after all. They're playing a waiting game. Like, who's going to give in first?
I really think Sony saw the fan backlash because, to be fair, I think Sony was kind of in the right a little bit. Like, you know,
it was a dick. There's a dick shown contest. Like that's literally what it was. Like
right.
between the two of them, and I don't think it's Sony that came to the realization. I actually think it's Disney that came to the realization, because I think after all that shit that went down at D23, when Tom Holland was basically getting interviewed on stage, and he basically kind of let it slip in regards to like, hey, this is like going nowhere and this is horrible, and all the different news articles and all the different like people just being pissed off from that one. It's basically, you know what? I think Sony came back to show the look. That's what, you know what? We had a little bit bigger, you know, we have, you know, the yaw plus the shaft.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got both of those. I knew it was coming. Like Jeremy said, you dangle enough money in front of everybody and eventually they're going to break down. But like, I don't think Sony could have done a good Spider-Man movie on their own. Like you would have had to reboot it. I don't think there was a way to move forward. Yeah. Like,
so they would have tried, but it would have made money, but it would have been weird.
So there's the deals, like the deal we have is very high level. So we do know that there's going to be one more standalone Spider-Man movie and then one more Spider-Man being involved in some type of crossover movie. You know, probably going to be Avengers 5. However, I said, do you think the unwritten details or the details that we don't know, do you think, I said, because I know that the big push for the longest time was basically to try to get Venom and some of these other characters involved in the MCU. So do you think that was part of the deal?
I don't think so. I really don't think, like, because I really think they're trying to make the Venom. I mean, they made a Venom movie without Spider-Man, right? Like, there was zero involvement of any kind with Spider-Man. So I think bringing him in now, that version of Venom in now, doesn't make sense. Why would he have it? And the biggest part of, like, Venom as a bad guy is the fact that because he was once attached to Spider-Man, Spider-Man's spider sense doesn't work with Venom, right?
So,
like,
and the only reason I bring it up is because now we have the confirmation. So after one of the kind of side fallouts from this whole back and forth between Sony and Disney is we did finally get the confirmation that there was a Tom Holland scene filmed for Venom.
Oh yeah, like I know that they did,
and Disney said no. And
because that version of Venom wasn't good. Like I'm guessing that there's a quality issue that when Disney looked at it, they're probably like, no, like step back from this.
I said here's the thing. As much as I didn't like Venom at all. Like I honestly didn't. However, I think we're gonna get some type of MCU calling to it, not necessarily, maybe not even direct tie-in. I think there'll be some type of connection, some type of connective tissue between Venom and the MCU, because
like maybe Tom Hardy shows up.
Not
Venom, but Tom Hardy.
Yeah. So there's gonna be some. I think there's gonna be something, and just because I think that this whole negotiation back and forth, yes, it was about money, but at the same point in back and forth, like I said, Sony basically has to they have to have a launching point for basically this new universe that they're trying to build. Yeah. And they need basically some of those fanboy service from basically these people who have been invested in the MCU for so long. They need some of that fan service over on that side.
Yeah, they already have the opportunity for it with Into the Spider-Verse. Like, they have carte blanche to make whatever stories they want to tell with that. Like, leave that shit, keep Venom as a version of that. Like, have that Venom stick with the Spider-Verse group and leave the fucking Tom Holland Spider-Man with the MCU. Like, I really don't see that version of Venom being able to make it into the MCU and make sense in any way.
Well, and I kind of see it both ways. Like, I totally get what Scott's saying, and I definitely agree that the Venom they've created is going to be very hard to adapt to this version of Spider-Man. But I've also always thought that the MCU Spider-Man does not follow traditional comics. He's a lot different in my mind than classic Spider-Man. So I feel like if anything is, making it easier for Venom to come into the MCU, is the fact that this isn't your traditional Spider-Man. So I think Night Bodega said it, and I think this is a good idea. What if Venom attaches to Spider-Man later on and gets spider sense? Like, he still acquires those spider abilities, quote unquote, but it's in a different way. And then there you go. You have classic Venom again. They can get back there in a messy way. Yeah, I would love it to be classic, but we're not there even with the current version.
Yeah, but there's no the whole comic book thing was based on Eddie Brock's hatred of Peter Parker is why he was sought out as the host in the first place. But this version of Eddie Brock doesn't know who Peter Parker is, and this version of Peter Parker would have no way. He doesn't work for the Bugle. He doesn't expose him as like a liar. Yeah, he has zero connection to Spider-Man. You'd have to write this it's more of a pain in the ass to try to write why the fuck he would even be there in the first place versus just being we'll leave that as a standalone.
Well, maybe just goes straight into a team up because they have to fight Carnage or something.
Like I said, Nate, I said I think you have, the perfect point there. Like I said, this isn't a comics driven. This is its own independent type of driven origin story and type of similarities of how these characters are coming to be in the movies. I said there's comic book references and comic book inferences, but they're almost their own separate story. And to your point, like I said, I see them more of utilizing a team up type of situation rather than a versus situation of, like I said, there's some type of big bad that they end up having to team up. And I honestly think
Venom goes to New York to chase down Cletus Cassidy.
There's something. And I think I honestly wish they would just release because I said it was filmed. I wish they would release whatever that side scene was that Tom Holland had filmed for Venom, because I honestly think that would have basically answered a lot of these questions, basically as far as how it's actually connected.
I honestly think he just bumps into him on the street. The best thing would be if he just bumps into it and make everyone be like, "Oh my god, he bumps into Peter Parker," and then the guy's like, "Hello, my name's Tom Holland," and it just is he runs into the actor. Would be the even better part of it.
That'd be great.
Just to fuck with the fans, be like, it's Peter Parker, and that's no, that's legitimately Tom Holland, the actor. Just as a way to mess with them.
Not a bad idea.
You know what? I'll take that too.
I mean, it's interesting to see. I'm intrigued now that Spider-Man's back. What are they going to do? How are they going to utilize him? Are we going to see him in more crossovers? I know they've only said 2, but I have a feeling they could have him show up as a cameo in the next Doctor Strange really easily or something,
Like I said, there's more TBD to that deal than necessary. I think right now I think why it got pushed through right now is I think it was pushing behind the schedule of basically the MCU. So if you noticed, not only did we get basically a confirmation, but we had the exact date of when the Spider-Man's movie's coming out. Yeah. So a lot of this
it's already been planned.
Yeah,
it's written
was already in the works. So I think this is basically the agreement now is basically just to firm up that to make sure that doesn't get fucked up in any way. But to your point, Nate, I think there's still negotiations going on in regards to basically what's actually ultimately going to happen with Spider-Man in the MCU.
Right.
I mean, more Spider-Man equals more money. So they want to make money. Everybody likes money.
Oh yeah,
even Sony.
It's Sony. Like it's a $1 billion movie, no matter what.
Yeah, he's a guaranteed.
Far From Home is Sony's highest grossing movie ever.
Well, and
Spider-Man is like a guaranteed cash cow. You can put him in anything, and he will sell movie tickets. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
So everybody just get past this bullshit of like, oh, I need bigger percentage. Just give us more Spider-Man, and you'll get all the money that you want. Yeah, like you basically a Spider-Man movie is a carte blanche to fucking print money. Just take whatever deal and get your free fucking money. Yeah, enough of this drama bullshit. We all know it's about money. Yeah.
It's all about the money.
It's all about
dollar bills, y'all. All about the Benjamins.
Dollar.
All right. So, any other shows that we need to talk about? Because I realize we're hitting our hour mark. Yeah, there's still more I wanted to talk about, but we can do it another time. We might have a part 2 of this.
Real quick, though. I got to see if you guys have seen this movie or not. Because I just watched this, like I said, a couple hours ago, and it's literally probably the weirdest movie that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Between Two Ferns of the movie?
No.
Oh.
Midsummer.
Oh, yeah, no, fucked up movie. Absolutely fucked up movie.
Midsummer or something.
Yeah, it is the weirdest movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, that guy makes some weird stuff. I can't remember what was the one he made previously.
Hereditary.
Yeah.
No, but this, like I said, Hereditary was scary. This was literally the weirdest movie that I've ever seen.
It's like, we're going to kill this guy and stuff him in a bear.
Yeah, and then there's like this granny orgy scene, and then like it's this whole weird movie. It is so weird. All right, I know Tyler was gonna say he saw it. Yeah,
I know. I have seen it as well. And yeah, fucked up is the best way to describe that movie.
What's it on? I'm fast forwarding through the trailer right now.
It came out in the theater just recently.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I rented it on Prime.
Yeah. Cool.
It is for me. Yeah, it is. Well, I don't recommend it.
Don't go into it thinking like, ooh, it's bright. It's a happy movie. It's not. Like, be prepared to be depressed.
That and confused by some granny orgy scene.
Yeah, there's a lot of. And if you've seen Hereditary, you know what you're in for because that movie is fucked up. Yeah.
You know what, Manny? Like, go for it, man.
Watch it.
If you want something trippy to watch, it definitely fits that bill. Speaking of trippy to watch, like I said, next week we enter October.
It is.
So you know what that means. We have a super mega Halloween special coming up.
Oh man, I cannot wait.
Did we decide on a
super mega Halloween special? No. I think he did just say super mega Halloween special.
He did say super mega Halloween special.
Thank you. I thought you guys were. I was hoping you guys.
No one did it, so I was like, all right, I guess I'm starting this fucking train.
Thanks, Scott. Let's go ahead and let's plant the flag. Let's plant the flag right now.
It's got to be the 19th or the 26th.
Yeah, 19th or 26th. What do you guys want to do? 19th or 26th?
Let's do 26. Get it close to actual Halloween.
At 26, what we're doing is we are talking the one, the only, the best worst movie of all time, Troll 2.
Oh my god!
I can't wait.
Literally. So I am so excited because it's been a while since I've actually sat down and watched this movie in full.
All right,
and to play games about it.
Oh, we're gonna play games about it. So I haven't passed this by you guys yet, so I'll pass it by the audience right now too. I think what we should do is, so I don't think we can live stream it together, on on the podcast. But what we can do is I think we should all watch this movie together. We have our streams going up, and we actually talk about the movie while the movie's playing, so we can actually maybe add some riff tracks to this movie as well.
Cool. I like that.
I'm okay with that.
We'll give it a shot. Like I think that's a good idea.
Theater idea. I like that.
I think we can do it.
Yeah, Mystery Science 3000 meets the STS Guys.
Dun dun dun.
Bum, bum,
Join
bum,
us
bum.
and live stream
Cool.
Troll 2.
I like it. So we're gonna do it on that day, or we're gonna release the audio version on that day.
I think we're going to release the audio version on it.
Okay.
I think
All right,
it's hard to
for
do.
that week or whatever. Yeah. Like maybe we all can still record it that Saturday, but then we'll release the audio that week. All right, cool. I'm down.
My God, I'm excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun.
If everything works out, we should have a special guest on the podcast next week.
Ooh.
So that'll be fun.
I'm very interested in
Year of the interviews.
Yeah,
Here's the special guest.
this is gonna be a fucking trip of a special guest too. So
Yeah, I don't want to say who it is because if it doesn't work out, then I don't want that person to feel like a jerk. So
yeah,
just say it's going to be weird and you're not going to want to miss it.
I can't wait.
Stay tuned to our social media where you can follow us at STS Guys on Twitter, at STS Guys on Instagram, and we're at the STS Guys on the Facebook. And I am Larry from the STS Guys.
Shown like a villain.
Chilling like a villain. So, for episode 103 of the STS Guys, I've been Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
Hey guys, it's been Nate.
and I'm Scott.
And we are the STS Guys. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining everyone.
It's getting